Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
Hey, I'm Gerry, host of Super Ghost, and boy, do I have a game to tell you about. Okay, look, it's summer, late 1999. The family's going camping. I was a nerdy kid who feared the sun, so naturally I made a big deal about it. But my parents dangled a carrot in front of me and said, "You can rent a game." So off we went to some woodsy place, and I didn't know it then, but the game I picked up, sitting snug inside of my N64, inside that camper, would carve out a permanent place in my heart. And that game was Mystical Ninja Starring Goemon. Now, maybe you didn't share the deep love that some of us had for the N64, and I get it. Okay, I get it. The controller looked like a torture device. Like as a kid, you didn't even want to touch it. It seemed it was overwhelming. But you know what? When it worked, it worked. And what it did was it was able to transport you into this rich 3D world for the first time. For a lot of us, that was the first time going 3D. And then to top all that off, getting dropped into a fantastical version of Japan, it was unlike anything I had ever experienced. Now, by the time I got around to Mystical Ninja, I'd already had my mind blown to pieces by Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 64, and Banjo-Kazooie. But Mystical Ninja? It held its own. It wasn't just another game, it was an equal among these giants. I'm telling you, from the moment you boot this thing up, you're greeted by a cheerful, high-energy theme song, and as a kid, it felt like flipping on like a Saturday morning cartoon. The colors were popping, the music was whimsical, characters had this really chunky, blocky charm to them, and then the music kicks in, and you take control of Goemon, and that music? How did they do it? How do they create a soundtrack that would stick with me into my late 30s? I hum it while I'm cleaning, I blast it while I'm renovating. It's that good. If you haven't heard it, do yourself a favor. Go listen to it right now. But it's not just the music. The game itself feels tight. You travel through towns bursting with charm. Quirky NPCs are all over the place. And it's got this really hilarious dialogue. It's just spewing charm. I don't like the word spewing. Maybe not spewing, but it's dripping in this charm. You travel through towns bursting with charm, quirky NPCs, and hilarious dialogue. You're going to explore fields, dungeons, temples. You even go to Mount Fuji. All of the locations are inspired by real places in Japan, and the enemies are all drawn from Japanese folklore. The action-based combat is a joy. And as you unlock more characters, you discover how different each one feels. So Goemon, the title character, he starts with a pipe, but that pipe eventually gets upgraded and you get a chain pipe. And it's kind of like the hook shot from Ocarina of Time. You have Ibisamaru. He has a big, stupid looking hammer. And then he gets a camera that turns him into like a little mini version of him. Yai has a katana, and eventually she gets the ability to transform into a mermaid and then swim underwater. And then there's Sasuke. Has kunai and firecracker bombs, and he's quick and he has a double jump. And then there's Impact. Oh, Impact. So when things get serious, just like the Power Rangers summoning the Megazord, Goemon and crew blow into a magical conch to summon a giant robot named Impact. That's when the game shifts into a first-person on-rails boss fight similar to Punch-Out. And these fights, they're no joke. You got to monitor a lot of things that are going on inside of your perspective of Impact. and you have to time your combos and throw punches with precision. It's a wild cinematic gameplay twist that, honestly, it still holds up. Now, the story. Okay, folks, buckle up. This is where it gets... If you think it's already a little weird, it gets way weirder. The Peach Mountain Shoguns arrive in a UFO, and then they decide that they want to turn all of Japan into a massive fine arts theater. Yeah, that's the plot. And then you travel from town to town, dungeon to dungeon, trying to stop them from turning Japan into a giant theater. Now, the game doesn't overstay its welcome. It's around 10 hours long, but it's packed with charm, variety, and excitement. Think Super Mario 64 meets Ocarina of Time with a Japanese twist. But honestly, telling you how good this game is doesn't do it justice. You've got to play it. You have to play it any way you can. I've said it for years, and I'm going to keep saying it. Mystical Ninja Starring Goemon, also known as Mystical Ninja 64, is one of the very best that the Nintendo 64 has to offer. If you're a fan of Zelda or Mario, this is a must play. So please, do me a favor. Please go play this game. And happy gaming.
Hey, you there. This is Nomad speaking. If you love retro video games and you're itching for some nostalgia, check out the Retro Wildlands podcast. In each episode, I'll use game music and sound to pull you into the gaming experience while I share my own thoughts and maybe a few memories. It's a great way to relive one of your favorite games or learn about a new one. Check out the Retro Wildlands podcast at superpodnetwork.com or wherever you listen to your podcast.
CPOV.
CertainPOV.com.